So there it was, the trouble with electronics for today. So very sorry that this is happening, and I'm not quite sure how to handle it. It's been an all-day thing, but hopefully it's going to work now. So I've divided this talk today into 3 sections. One is personally, how to handle your person being, then how to handle your house, and then just some simple reminders. Okay, so when it's incredibly hot outside, you are going to do better if you eat light. Salads, things that you can cook in the morning and then eat in the evening at room temperature or cooler. It is fruits and vegetables. Those are all real good, and they will help keep you hydrated. And the thing with that is, that's the most important thing in the whole situation, is stay hydrated. Now, I tell you this in the shop all the time, so for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to hear me tell you this in the shop, the amount of water that you are supposed to drink at a minimum is half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water. And then you have to add to that 1 for 1 for every cup of coffee that you drink, for every caffeinated beverage that you drink. Those are all things that need to be replaced, because they're all diuretics and they will make you dehydrated. So other ways to stay hydrated, beyond water, is eat water-dense fruit. So oranges and watermelon and cantaloupe and those kind of things. Those are going to help you stay hydrated, and right off the top, that's going to make you feel a little bit better. Avoid caffeine and sugar, because those are dehydrating. So that's caffeine, alcohol, sugar. A real cold beer sounds good when you're hot, but if it's really hot outside, if you drink that beer, chase it with the same amount of water so that you are hydrating yourself again instead of dehydrating yourself. Now, iced tea. If you're using herbal teas...
Hello, this is Lynn Madishan from Madishan's Herbals, and
we're so my other machine here just turned on, and we were starting over. So I've turned that off, so that shouldn't happen again. Okay, so peppermint tea. If you make sun tea or just plain iced tea, the menthol, which is the main ingredient in peppermint, helps your body cool down. It also helps get rid of belly bloat. And if you've ever had menthol in your mouth, so like a cough drop or a candy, and it makes your mouth feel like it's freezing, well, that's the same effect. It's cooling down your body. And so
I am finally here for the Wednesday class. I've had some hard times on Wednesdays, apparently, and I want to tell...
Wow. So it's a case of either we have no signal or we have too many signals, and this is going to be a crazy thing today. So peppermint is going to be good for you. Keep your feet and your head cool. So if you're going outside, put on a wicker hat so the sun doesn't come down on your head. Your heat escapes from your head and from your feet. And so you want to keep them both cool so the heat continues to escape from those. So go barefoot. If you're in the house, the sweat on your feet evaporates easier if you don't have them put in socks and in shoes, and that's going to cool you down in the process. Soak your feet in cool water. If you're right off the top, the median body temperature is 98.6. So as long as the water is colder than 98.6, it doesn't have to be ice water. It just has to be cooler than your body, and that will help cool you down. It is, if you're walking around someplace, walk on the grass. Don't walk on the cement or the asphalt, because the grass is much cooler. Excuse me, it doesn't hold the heat like asphalt does. Another thing to think about is if you have a dog, and if you walk the dog on a regular basis, make sure that put your feet on the asphalt. I mean, your bare foot on the asphalt and see how hot it is. Because if it's too hot for you in bare feet, it's too hot for your dog in bare feet. And then you have to figure out, okay, we have to go to the park where there's grass. And if you go to a park that has trees, the trees are going to cool everything down as well. So make sure you're caring for your fur babies. Make sure that they also have the water that they need to hydrate and stay cool, especially dogs that are dark colored dogs, black labs, and any other dog that has black fur. They're going to overheat faster, and you don't want that to happen. So signs of overheating for people are lethargy, headaches, dizziness. If you start feeling these things, go to your bathroom, fill up your bathtub with cool water, and sit your bones down in there so that you can bring your core temperature down so you don't end up in the hospital with heat stroke. Now, other things that you can do is either apply ice on your wrist and the back of your neck. Those are where your blood flows closest to the skin. Or again, if you don't have ice, I never have ice, you can go ahead and just get a cool, damp washcloth or something and put it on there, and then just change it fairly frequently. And that's going to bring you down. The temperature down. It's not going to bring you down. It's going to make you feel better. It is, if you don't have ice, another thing you can do is put rice. So put rice in a sock and tie the sock off and put it in your freezer or put it in your refrigerator. And the rice, once it gets cool, will stay cool for a long time. And then you put it again on the back of your neck or on your wrists, and that's going to help cool you down. It is, another thing is your clothes. You want to wear something that breathes. So silk or cotton or linen, things that aren't like polyester. They're natural fibers. And make sure they're comfortable. So, your nice, tight blue jeans that look really cute on you, that's not what you want to wear. You want to wear something that's culottes or something that's a little bit looser so that air flows around you, and it is and you want to be comfortable, because otherwise you're just making yourself hotter. Okay, if you decide you want to work out, do it late at night or early in the morning. Don't do it when it's really hot, because if you are working out when it's hot, you're making your body even hotter than what the weather is making your body. And then what you're looking at is an even longer time for your body to cool down. So it is, you want to make sure that doesn't happen, okay? If you get sweaty, don't necessarily wipe the sweat off real fast, because the air hitting the moisture on your body is going to help you cool down. It's kind of like your own air conditioning system. Now, the other thing that you can do is get a t-shirt that's wet and put the t-shirt on your body and just keep it on so that when you have a breeze, it's going to cool you down. And again, remember, if you don't have a swimming pool or you're not at the lake, you can go swimming in your bathtub, and that will make you cooler as well. Now, ways to keep your house cooler is, first of all, when the heat of the day happens, make sure all of your windows are covered. Keep the drapes pulled, keep the blinds pulled, and don't let the sun bake in the house. Because if you've got the cover, then it can't come in quite as well. So if you want, you can add a sheet or a blanket like you did when it was cold and you had to, keep the cold from coming in. It does the same thing to keep the heat from coming in, dependent upon the kind of house that you have. I have a 1.5 story with a basement. I will leave my basement door open so that the cooler air from the basement comes in. I will close my door to my upstairs because that upstairs gets so hot. And I don't want that hot air to run down the stairs and come here. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to keep that done, that closed. Now, once it gets to be in the evening time and the temperatures fall, open up your doors and your windows and let the cool air come in. The other thing that you can do is take a sheet, get it wet, and put it over the open window or over the open door. I've got a screen so I can leave my door open for a long time and put the sheet there. And as the breeze comes, so you want to open up a door and a window on opposite sides so you get a cross breeze. And then what you want to do is, if you put a wet sheet up there, and not dripping wet because you don't want to ruin your floors, but wet and wrung out, again, the air coming through is going to hit that wet sheet and it's going to push in cooler air. Another thing that you can do is, and you have to start now, is get water bottles or, like milk jugs, gallon-sized milk jugs, and fill them with water. Put a little bit of salt in it, because then if you're making salt water ice cubes, they don't melt quite as fast. And then put it in front of a fan. And that's a homegrown air conditioner. So that is another way to keep your house just a little bit cooler. It is... you can take the sheet off of your bed and put it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator. And if you do that in the morning, then by the time you are ready to go to bed, you just put the sheet over you. It's cool because it's been in the refrigerator all day. And it'll stay cool for a little bit of time, so that at least until you then get to bed. So you want to turn most of your electronic devices off because they create heat. It is computers, laptops, televisions. They're all hidden sources of heat. It is your oven, obviously, your dishwasher, your washing machine. Now, again, my washing machine is down in the basement, and so it's not going to bring hot air up into my living room. But those things all add to the heat. So if you're going to use them, it's best to use them once it's cooled down so it doesn't add a ridiculous amount of heat. Again, if you can avoid cooking for dinner, certainly cooking in the oven. Now, if you're using the stovetop and it's a quick dinner, stir fry, something like that, it's light, it's quick, and it's not going to add a tremendous amount of heat. You can barbecue outside as it gets cooler, and that's not going to add heat to your house. But it's every little step brings the temperature down even a degree or 2 degrees, and 3 or 4 degrees in your house can make a huge difference. So fans. So the fans that are like table fans, you want to make sure that it's blowing out. You have it faced towards the window to blow out, because that's blowing the hot air out of your room, and it will be replaced by the cooler air from outside. It is, and that will make the temperature in the room drop as well. Your ceiling fans, there are, I've got one upstairs. I don't have one here, but most ceiling fans can go either way, counterclockwise or clockwise, and you just have to get up there and change the switch for that. And if you have a ceiling fan, what you want to do is set the speed at medium and have it spinning counterclockwise, and that will keep you cooler. So actually, after I do this, I'm going to go upstairs and see which way my ceiling fan runs. I don't sleep up there, so it's not a big deal. But if I end up having a guest, they'll be sleeping up there. So then we'll want to make sure that we have the ceiling fan going in the right way. Now, also, one of the things that you want to take into consideration, and this,
right from the get-go, I have
and this is long term.
boatload of electronic issues today. So if this and
Okay, there we go. Now I've got it turned off. All right. If you change your lights out to LED lights, the LED lights and the fluorescent lights give off more heat. One incandescent bulb generates almost 9,000 joules. More than 90% of the energy produced by incandescent lights are heat and not light, according to the Consumer Energy Center. So you want to make sure that you don't have a whole lot of lights on if you have incandescent bulbs as opposed to the LED. Now, there's your person, there's your house, and now I want to talk about some reminders. Remember, please, that we are part of a community. Remember to check on your animals and make sure that they are in good shape with the heat. Remember to check on your family that is maybe not as young and out and about as you are, and check on your neighbors as well. Make sure that they're all in good shape, because if you can get them over there and make sure that they're drinking plenty of water and doing everything that they need to stay in good shape, that's what we need to do. We need to watch out for each other. So, as we go through this heat, I actually will be on Facebook. That runs almost 24/7 in the background of my life. And if you need anything, or if you have an idea, or you need an idea, feel free to give me a shout out on the page, and I will do what I can for you. And hopefully we'll get enough of us doing what we can for each other that, we're not going to end up having too much misery during this hot weather. So, tomorrow is the full moon, and we'll be doing the full moon ritual at 6 o'clock. And I'm hoping, so fingers are crossed, but that maybe in July we'll be able to start going back to the parks. I haven't gotten final word on that yet. And so, but for those of you who don't live close, I will still be videoing them, doing them on live, just like we are, but they'll be coming from the park instead of from my house, and so it'll be something new to see, and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for being patient with my electronic troubles, and take care of yourself. Have a happy solstice, and blessed be.